Imagine a screen filling with the fury of a storm battering the elegant facade of the Silver Crest Hotel. Inside, a bubble of warmth and wealth, oblivious. The rain came down in sheets, a violent curtain against the tall windows of the Silver Crest Hotel. Lightning split the sky, briefly illuminating a world of champagne and quiet laughter within. This was a sanctuary built by money, for money, sealed against the harsh realities howling outside. Then, the massive oak doors burst open. Wind and rain ripped through the pampered air, silence falling like a dropped glass. He stood framed in the doorway, a silhouette against the storm's fury. Dripping, ragged, a ghost materialized from the city's forgotten corners. He was tall, black, his face a roadmap of hard years lived under open skies, but his eyes, they burned with a cold, steady fire that cut through the opulence like a laser. In his hand, he clutched a worn burlap sack as if it held the last fragments of a shattered world. Heads turned, noses wrinkled, whispers hissed behind manicured hands. Security tensed, fingers hovering over radios. To the glittering inhabitants of the Silver Crest, he was less than nothing, an unsightly intrusion, a problem to be swiftly erased. He began to walk, his soaked boots leaving muddy footprints on the gleaming marble, a deliberate desecration. He moved with a strange, quiet dignity that didn't match the rags he wore. "Sir." The forced politeness of the front desk clerk was brittle. "Sir, you can't be in here." He didn't seem to hear her. His gaze swept the lobby, taking in the gilded cage, searching. Mr. Langley, the manager, emerged, silver hair, tailored suit, an aura of inherent superiority. "Is there a problem?" he asked, his tone making it clear Elijah was a problem. Elijah finally stopped, his intense gaze locking onto Langley's. His voice, when it came, was unexpectedly deep, clear, devoid of tremor. "No problem," he stated. "I'm just here to claim what's mine." Langley's perfectly sculpted eyebrows shot up. "I beg your pardon." "This hotel," Elijah said, the word simple, yet earth-shattering in that space. "It belongs to me." A beat of stunned silence, then Langley exploded in laughter, loud, condescending. It was contagious. Ripples of derision spread through the watching guests. "Well, that's certainly a new approach." Langley sneered, playing to his audience. Usually they just ask for spare change, not the entire building. "Security." A burly guard named Bradley grabbed Elijah's arm. "Come on, old-timer. We don't do handouts here." But Elijah didn't move. Slowly, deliberately, he reached into his sack. Bradley tensed, expecting a weapon. Instead, Elijah withdrew an ancient, yellow document, its edges soft with time. "Check your records," he said calmly, holding it out. "My name is Elijah Carter. This hotel stands on land that belongs to me." Langley snatched the paper, glanced at it, and roared with laughter again. "You must be joking. A man like you." He spat the words, heavy with racial disdain. "Owning this." The meaning was clear, echoing the unspoken prejudice in the room. Watching from the reception desk, Amanda Williams, a young black woman, felt a deep unease. There was something solid, something unwavering in the old man's stance. This wasn't delusion. Nearby, Diego Martinez, a young busboy, so Langley tossed the precious document aside. Quick as a flash, he snapped a picture with his phone, unnoticed. Elijah offered no struggle as Bradley and another guard manhandled him towards the entrance. They shoved him out into the relentless rain, sending him sprawling onto the slick pavement. His sack landed beside him. The guards lingered, ensuring he wouldn't return, sharing a joke before retreating into the warmth. Slowly, painfully, Elijah Carter pushed himself up. He gathered his sack, holding it close. Rain streamed down his weathered face, washing away nothing. He looked up at the towering symbol of his stolen legacy, not with defeat, but with a chilling certainty. His eyes met Langley's smug gaze in the doorway. "You laugh now." Elijah's voice carried over the storm's roar. "You won't be laughing for long." Langley merely rolled his eyes and shut the door, sealing the homeless man out in the tempest. Inside, the party resumed. Outside, a promise lingered in the charged air. Later, in their separate, humble worlds, the seeds of doubt took root. Diego stared at the photo on his phone, Elijah Carter's name on a faded deed. Amanda couldn't shake the image of the old man's eyes. They began to dig. The story unfolded in hushed conversations, late nights in dusty archives, and fearful glances over shoulders. Elijah Carter hadn't always been a ghost. In the 70s, he was a rising star, a sharp black entrepreneur who'd partnered with Bennett Kavanaugh, Jonathan's father, to build the Silver Crest. But Bennett, consumed by greed and prejudice, couldn't tolerate an equal partner, especially a black one. In 1987, the betrayal came swiftly. Fabricated charges of embezzlement, corrupt lawyers, a justice system blind to his innocence. 15 years ripped from his life while Bennett systematically erased him, seizing control of everything they had built together. His wife, broken by the shame, disappeared. His daughter grew up believing her father was a criminal. When Elijah finally walked free in 2002, all that remained was the original deed, hidden by his wife, which he carried in that burlap sack, his only proof, his only companion through 30 years of homelessness. The closer Amanda and Diego got to the truth, the more dangerous it became. Diego received threats, then vanished, supposedly fleeing to Mexico, a lie Amanda instantly suspected. Her own apartment was violently ransacked, a warning scrawled on the wall, "Walk away." Security Chief James Wilson delivered veiled threats in the hotel corridors. Jonathan Kavanaugh, cold and ruthless like his father, felt the foundations tremor. He ordered Wilson, "Find the homeless man. Make sure he's no longer a problem." Amanda knew she had to find Elijah first. Following whispers and rumors through the city's underbelly, she found him in a desolate alleyway. There, amidst the refuse, Elijah shared the final, crucial piece. Bennett Kavanaugh kept a secret ledger detailing every corrupt deal, every bribe, including the evidence that proved he framed Elijah. It was hidden in a safe in Jonathan's private office at the hotel. Their only chance lay in retrieving that ledger. The annual Silver Crest Charity Gala provided the perfect cover. While the city's elite celebrated the Kavanaugh legacy, Elijah, Amanda, and Carl, a loyal elderly janitor who remembered Elijah from the old days, launched their own covert operation. They navigated service tunnels, unearthed more buried evidence in forgotten basement archives, proof of silenced witnesses, of Bennett's long-planned betrayal. They narrowly escaped detection after Carl neutralized Langley. Then came the riskiest move. Amanda, using her staff access during the gala's peak, slipped into Jonathan's heavily secured office. Heart pounding, she bypassed security, guessed a safe combination. Not Jonathan's birthday, but his grandfather's, the dynasty's founder, and found it. The leather-bound ledger, pages filled with damning entries, confirming every detail of the decades-long conspiracy. Just as she secured the evidence, the door opened. Jonathan Kavanaugh stood there, his eyes narrowing in cold fury. The confrontation was immediate, charged with menace. But before Jonathan could act, Elijah and Carl burst in. In the ensuing chaos, Amanda revealed she had the ledger and had already sent digital copies out. Carl triggered a fire alarm, plunging the gala into disarray, allowing them to escape into the night. A message from Diego, the real Diego, directed them to a rendezvous with investigative journalist Frank Banks at the docks. But another message arrived simultaneously, a picture of Diego, bound and gagged, luring them to a different warehouse. A trap. They recognized the deception, deduced Diego's true location from clues in the photo, an abandoned warehouse linked to Elijah's past investments, and walked knowingly into the ambush to save him. Lights blazed. Guns appeared. Jonathan, Wilson, and their men surrounded them. The demand was simple: the ledger or death. Elijah, ever the strategist, bluffed about live-streaming the confrontation. Chaos erupted again. Amanda fired a flare gun as a signal. Diego, freed by Carl, who had also been captured, fought back. In the struggle, one of Jonathan's own men, unwilling to commit murder, shot the gun from his boss's hand just as sirens screamed, converging on the scene. The FBI, alerted by Amanda and the flare, swarmed the dock. Jonathan Kavanaugh, finally cornered, was arrested amidst his furious, impotent threats. 3 months later, the Silver Crest ballroom buzzed again, but the atmosphere was electric with change, not champagne. The Kavanaugh portraits were gone, replaced by exhibits telling the true story of the hotel, the community, and the man they tried to erase. Elijah Carter, impeccably dressed, stood at the podium, no longer a ghost but the rightful owner. Today, his voice resonated, filled with quiet power, is about acknowledging a history that was deliberately erased and beginning the work of making amends. The court battle, fueled by the ledger and overwhelming evidence, had been decisive. Jonathan faced prison. Elijah regained his hotel and received substantial damages. But this wasn't just about one man's vindication. Elijah announced his plans. The hotel transformed into a hub for community empowerment, a museum celebrating black entrepreneurship, a foundation helping the wrongfully convicted. He spoke not of personal triumph, but a collective healing, of lifting others, of ensuring such injustices couldn't be so easily buried again. In the audience, Amanda, now his community outreach director, watched with pride. Diego, inspired to pursue journalism, was already documenting similar stories. Carl, the retired janitor, served as a valued historian. Elderly survivors of the Kavanaugh's predatory practices, people who remembered Elijah from decades ago, were their presence a powerful testament. Tears welled in Elijah's eyes as one called out, "We never stop believing. Elijah." Later, as the celebration wound down, Amanda found Elijah gazing at the new hotel sign, a blend of heritage and hope. "Just thinking," he murmured, "about all the nights I spent looking at this building from the outside." The next morning, Elijah sat alone in his reclaimed office. The opulent excess was gone, replaced by understated elegance and photos of the neighborhood's vibrant past. On the wall where Kavanaugh Pride once hung, he placed the original framed deed. Below it, a simple plaque. "Justice may be delayed, but it cannot be denied. This hotel stands as a testament to the power of truth and the importance of perseverance." As sunlight filled the room, illuminating the words, Elijah Carter smiled. After 30 years lost in the storm, he was finally home. His true legacy was just beginning. The final image holds on Elijah's face a blend of hard-won peace and forward-looking purpose.